I thought you went to get a snack. I'm a boy. Though, he is looking like quite a snack. Huh? What it is, what it do? You already know who it is. Back again with another episode of the Katawa Shoujo. And I'm gonna be perfectly honest, I don't remember where we were. Oh, now I remember. We finished running off the track with Emmy. We were talking to the nurse and Emmy, and we learned a little bit more about her and how she lost both her legs. And we also learned that she likes to push herself past her normal limits. As determined as she is, she's also quite stubborn. So, with that being said, let us see where the story goes from here. The morning sunlight streaming through my window wakes me up instead of my alarm, and I realize that it must be Sunday. Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. I'm filming this on a Sunday. Emmy has kindly deigned to give me weekends off from our morning runs. I don't actually know if I woke up at all yesterday, or if I just slept through the entire day. My legs groan in protest as I lever myself off the bed. All this running has really taken it out of me. Naturally. Still, I can't deny that Emmy wasn't lying to me. It has gotten a little easier. Emphasis on a little. I'd been worrying that the runs would start to wear on my nerves, but thus far I haven't minded them that much. Well, it's only been a week. I still have way more time to be annoyed. I suppose there's plenty of time for me to start dreading the sound of my alarm in the mornings. See, exactly. Not that I could ever skip out now. Emmy would have my head. As Emmy said, it's hard to stop a routine when there's another person. I don't want to let her down. And frankly, I don't think I'm equipped to deal with the disappointed Emmy with those big puppy dog eyes. She'd probably give me those puppy dog eyes and I'd feel terrible about myself. Which reminds me, was I supposed to be somewhere today? Oh yeah, the track meet! Today's the track meet. Hey! You're coming to my track meet on Sunday, right? What am I talking about? Of course you are! Right? Those puppy dog eyes again. Of course I'm going. I wouldn't miss it for the world. I owe you, right? Exactly. So don't forget, okay? Shit. So crap! Emmy's tracked me. I better get a move on if I don't want to miss her running, since she's the only reason I'm even considering going. Otherwise it would defeat the whole purpose of going. Exactly, see. Better get a move on herself. Put that running to good use. And so, I find myself quite suddenly surrounded by a crowd of people, all turning out to see our track team compete with another school like this one. I'd admit it, it's almost comforting to know we're not the only school like this. After you see that there could be two schools with a bunch of defective kids, well, you stop feeling so defective. You also stop feeling unique, which in most cases would be a bad thing, but in this case, it sure as hell isn't. It's like, yay, they're more freaks like us. That's part of Yamaku's appeal, I guess, to know that they're more freaks like you. Learn that you're not unique. Hell, learn there's a lot of others who would kill to be saddled with your problem instead of whatever they're dealing with. Some of the kids aren't here because they're missing a leg or have a heart problem. Some of them might be here because they're as good as dead in 2, maybe 3 years if they're lucky. And that's only if they get the right sort of care. It's a bitter sort of comfort to be able to say, well, at least I've got a chance at being alive through college. But there it is. Pretty morbid. I'm brought out of my rather morbid musings by the appearance of Rin near the entrance of the bleachers. You came. Of course! I said I would, didn't I? That doesn't necessarily imply that you had to follow through. Lots of people say things and don't mean them. Well, I'm not one of those people. I'm a man of my word. As he thumps his chest. Rin shrugs, seemingly bored of our conversation. She turns on her heel and heads back toward the stands. I owe Emmy money now. Why's that? I didn't think you'd show up. Emmy did. At least someone has faith in me. So I owe her 500 yen. You two bet an awful lot, don't you? You should go to a casino. Another shrug from my armless companion. I don't think so. We enter the bleachers and Rin nods upwards. Up there. I came out to see if you'd come. For the bet, I presume. Actually, no, that's not what I was talking about. Rin leads the way, and soon we settle down on an almost empty bench. Ooh. Ooh. There's an older woman sitting next to Rin. Someone's mother, I assume. And she looks a lot like a certain somebody. She's got rather long hair done in a braid. On seeing Rin, she gives an oddly familiar seeming grin. Well, this is surprising. I thought you went to get a snack, not a boy. Though, he is looking like quite a snack. Huh? What? Huh? A snack. I wondered why I was down there. Something about seeing his Sal come. The woman laughs, again in a way that seems familiar. Where have I seen her before? You haven't, but you've seen someone like her. Well, I suppose you've always been one to go out for one thing and bring back another. But I'm being rude. I haven't introduced myself. I'm Maiko Ibarasaki, Emi's mother. Pleased to meet you. Well, that explains it. She's like a taller, older, and better endowed Emmy. Well, I'm glad one of us said something, so. Apart from her hair being on the darker side of Emmy's, there's really no mistaking the resemblance. Sorry, I'm Misao. Misao Nakai. Nice to meet you. Really, you don't have to apologize for not introducing yourself, Mrs. Ibarozaki. The pleasure's all mine. That's really Rin's job in this situation, isn't it? Another laugh from Emi's mother. I take it you haven't known Rin for that long, then. It's best not to expect her to remember something like that. She's got other things to think about, I assume. Rin nods, seemingly pleased by this assessment. Like, yes. None of you are that important to me. She's right. I was thinking about sunsets. You see? It's really up to us to make introductions and the like. For lack of any better response, I nod. Mrs. Ibarozaki leans back a bit on her seat and raises an eyebrow. So, how long have you and Rin been dating? Huh? My response consists of silence as my brain suddenly lurches into gear. But just as soon as I begin to utter a hastily babbled answer, Rin's mother bursts into laughter again. Like daughter like mother. Ha! You're a blusher, aren't you? I don't know if there's any way to keep my dignity in this situation, so I settle for a mumble response. You know, maybe. Oh. So, this must be a new romance then, wasn't it? It's like we're not dating. At least not yet. It's a different story. Wait, that's not the question that... Another laugh. I know, but it's funny to watch you squirm. I'm sorry. Forgive an old woman her amusements. It's like old. He's like old woman. It sounds like lady, you could step on me all day long. She sure doesn't look that much older than me. Oh. She sure doesn't look that old to me. Clearly Emi gets her youthful features from her mother. I suppose I can let it go. On one condition. How kind of you. It's starting. What's confusing is that Rin's color and Mrs. Ibarazaki's color of their names, they're so similar. So I have to really pay attention to who's talking. Because I don't want to mix up the voices. Ooh. AGI. I direct my attention to the track, where they're preparing for the first sprint. It looks like a 400-meter dash. My eyes scan the runners, before finding Emi, all the way at the front. She's smiling, with an almost cocky look on her face, as if she knows she's already going to win this race before it even starts. The starter raises his pistol. San, ni, ichi, go! Emi explodes off the block, disappearing from the starting line in a blur. It's amazing. Even as the other sprinters converge in the lanes closest to the inside line, Emi surges to the front of the pack. By the time she rounds the final turn, some of the other runners have caught up with her. Their efforts come to naught, though, since a final burst of speed from Emi leaves them at least a half second behind, leaving them to eat her dust. Mrs. Ibarazaki whoops and shouts, applauding wildly and generally looking like any other parent cheering on their child. Emi bounds off the track, looking pleased with herself. Like a boss! I cheer right alongside the rest of them. The announcer, suspiciously sounding like Misha, gleefully gives the results. I think she's gone fastest since the last time. That was incredible! Mrs. Ibarazaki grins proudly. Emi's a heck of a runner. She doesn't get it from me, though. I don't run. Do you see these things? Who could run with them? We fall silent as the next event is being prepared. I'm surprised to see Emi striding out onto the track again. Well, she's the school's best asset. Wait, didn't she just run? Emi's mother nods. Yes, but she runs multiple events for the team, especially the sprints. It's a lot of running, but Emi can handle it. From the look of things, she's right. Plus, I should know. I've been running with her every morning. Emi doesn't appear to be tired, as if she hasn't run the previous event at all. If not for the sweat visible on her shirt, you'd never know. Which event is this? The 4x100 meter relay. Oh, it's the 200 meters. I was like, never mind. I tried to make it read, didn't work. It's the 200 meter dash. She'll do this, the 100 meter, and the relay. I see. Once again, the pistol sounds, and once again, Emi flies off the block. A thumping sound draws my attention away from the race. It's Rin's foot. She seems completely absorbed in the race. Emi's mother cheers again, and I assume that the race is over. Sprints don't seem to me like they take very long to complete, but no duh, it's a sprint. Your foot. Your foot was bouncing on the bleachers. Oh. You seem pretty into this stuff. I'm surprised. Rin looks at me quizzically. I'm not. I'm just into Emi. Why wouldn't I be? No reason, I just thought stuff like sports wouldn't interest you. I suppose you're right. It's not that interesting. But I'm watching Emi, not the sport. I don't follow. Emi's the most Emi when she runs. You don't get to see Emi at her Emiest very often. But here, you can. See? She directs my attention toward the track again, where the 100-meter dash is about to start. I watch Emi closely. So I look at her. In the starting position, looking ready to spring forth with raw power. As she gets onto the starter's block, her whole body seems to relax, but it's a false relaxation. I can see that she's actually like a coiled spring, or like a cobra, ready to strike. As the starter tells everyone to get set, her head snaps up, her eyes narrow slightly. Her mouth curls upward to what could be a grin, and could be a growl. Like an animal, ready to pounce. When the pistol goes off, it's as if she's unleashed from a cage, like she was always moving at this blinding speed, but couldn't see it happening until the starter's pistol dispelled the illusion of motionlessness. It's like, you want to see me run to that rocking back? You want to see me do it again? It's all over in a few seconds. But in those few seconds, I feel like I just witnessed something very personal for Emi. As soon as she crossed the finish line, the fierce look was replaced by her normal grin. The conquering general returning to his farm. Amazing. She's really amazing. I've never seen anyone move that fast. Except maybe Usain Bolt. But that was years later. Usain probably learned from Emi. Oh, don't look at me. I'm far too relaxed to run that fast. No, I think Emi's prowess all came from her father's side. At the mention of Emi's father, Mrs. Ibarozaki looks wistful, almost sad. He got her into running, you know? Yeah, she told me. I'm uncertain as to whether or not it would be rude of me to ask after Emi's father. But after that look on her face a few days ago, I feel compelled to ask. Where is her father now, if I might ask? Ooh, Sal, I don't think you're ready for this, big dog. There's more here than you know. Emi's mother hesitates, clearly not willing to answer the question, but at the same time not wishing to appear rude. He isn't around anymore. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bring up bad memories. Emi just seemed a little sad when she mentioned him earlier. That's not surprising, considering. Considering? What? Tell me, woman! Considering what? They were very close. I see. A beeping noise suddenly emanates from Mrs. Ibarazaki's pocket. Reaching into it, she pulls out a cell phone and looks at it. Honestly, text messages? What am I dealing with, a high school boy? What is he, 16? Exactly. I only deal with grown men, and grown men call me on my phone. Oh, nothing. Grown men call. I've got to go meet up with a friend of mine. That's what I call him, a friend. Will you tell Emmy I'm very proud of her and that I'll call her later tonight after meeting up with my friend? Of course. Ta-ta, children. I admit that I zoned out for a while, just staring at the incredible Milf that was Emmy's mom. I almost didn't notice that the relay is about to begin, but when I look, I can't find Emmy. I thought Emmy would be running the relay. She runs the very last leg. She runs anchor, so she won't be running for a while yet. Ah, that's how sports work. Did you see it? Huh? Emmy at her Emiest. Maybe. Maybe this time. The race begins, and I cheer Emmy's teammates along as they pass the baton. Finally, I see Emmy sprinting onto the track to take the final handoff, with no baton. Once again, I'm taken aback by how graceful she looks when she runs, with no baton. It is really beautiful. It really is beautiful. The look of determination and fearlessness on her face only adds to the picture. Except for the lack of the baton, which takes away from the picture. Emmy at her Emiest, I suppose. But then, as she crosses the finish line, I see her stumble slightly. Uh-oh. It's only barely, but it's a definite stumble. Rin inhales sharply and actually looks concerned for a second. Ah, Emmy. Did she hurt herself? Did she hurt herself, do you think? You noticed it too? Ah, cray. It must be bad. She frowns, as if deciding the next course of action. Eventually that proves to be too tiresome, and she shrugs again. Well, let's go down there. Gotta crown the victor. See if you can find a laurel branch. What are we, in ancient Greece? That's not going to be easy. Laurel branches don't really grow in Japan. Rin shrugs. Not my problem. At least we tried. Well, we didn't really try all that hard. We could at least take some branches from the oak trees behind us and fashion a crown. Or at all, but hey, whatever. Emmy is surrounded by her teammates, all of them congratulating her on the run. Rin seems to be waiting for Emmy to notice that she's arrived. I'm here. Oh yeah, I guess she can't exactly wave Emmy over. Ooh, very poor choice of words, Sasao. Then again, I'm not sure that Rin would do such a thing even if she had arms. It doesn't seem her style to draw attention to herself, or to emote beyond shrugging. Either way, I'm not willing to wait, so I wave to Emmy, who looks up and grins happily at me. Who grins happily at me! Oh, at us. Yes, because Rin's here too. Hey, you showed up! Guess Rin owes me money, huh? We would have brought you a crown of laurels, but Hisao didn't find one. Jerk! You didn't find one either. Hey, neither did you. It wasn't my job to look. I told you to go look for a crown of laurels. I told you in Soldier Boy voice to go look for it. When did we assign jobs? When I told you to look for laurel branches, dumbass. When I said, see if you could find a laurel branch. Try to keep up this out. With a smug smile. A shrug. I guess Rin's rubbing off on me. Seems it's my fault after all, Emmy. It's always the man's fault. Emmy laughs at Rin and me. It's okay. I'll sure you'll make it up to me somehow. Sure. So what does making it up entail exactly? Good. So, how'd I look? I stopped myself from blurting out beautiful or amazing. Beautiful! Amazing! I just settled for the substantially safer, very impressive. Amy seems pleased with this assessment. I didn't mention how much more impressive her performance is given her lack of legs. I figure she already knows that. It was like, you'd think it'd be a compliment, but actually it's just like stating facts. And it's like if you see a girl who's very well endowed and you're like, damn girl, look at those titties. And she's like, yeah, I know. I live with them every day. I know exactly what I'm working with here. Besides, it seems like it would take away from her effort somehow. It's like you're patronizing her. Great to hear. I was worried that I looked a little slow on the relay, but I guess I did fine, huh? Actually, I noticed. Rain kicks me and keeps me from finishing my sentence. She's like, shut up. What was that all about? He noticed it. At the end. That's no good. Rain, you know what we gotta do. I was like, wait, what do you mean you gotta do? They both just knock him out, and then they tie him up, and then they take him away. It's like, you know too much. You know too much, Sal. No one can know about the fact that I'm running myself ragged. So now, you must disappear. Guess the nurse will look at me. Guess the nurse will look at me for later then. Oh, guess the nurse will look at it for me later. I don't know why I had such a hard time reading that. There's a carelessness in her voice, as if it isn't a big deal, but I suddenly noticed a slight twitch on her face. Pain? Like she's trying to hide the fact that she's in pain. It's then that I notice her breathing is a little shallow too. Like she's really trying to muster up that courage to not look like she's suffering. I guess she really is hurt. She must notice my concern, because she skips up to me and gives me a friendly pat on the shoulder. Hey, you look a little worried. Don't worry about me, even though I'm dying inside. I'm fine, really. Yeah, that's what everybody who's not really fine says. They always say they're fine. Just sore from all the running, is all. Uh-huh. And come on, a little pain is going to stop me. Yes, I suppose that's true. A little pain won't stop you. Oh no. Emmy grins, and for a moment, she looks like she did during her sprint. Fierce and unconquerable. Or to put it another way, really beautiful. Just breathtaking. Hasn't yet. And I've been through a lot of pain. Well then, I guess I shouldn't worry then. I guess I shouldn't worry, huh? Damn right! I'm Emi Ibarazaki, fastest thing on no legs. I don't stop for anything. Impressive. Emi grins, and seems to remember something. Oh, before I forget, Rin and I are going to do something next Sunday as a post-track meet celebration. You should come along. Catch a heffalump. Sit with me on the muddy clump. Normally we do it the day after, but since the track meet was on a Sunday, I've got homework and class and all that stuff to take care of. Plus our morning run, of course. Right, of course. That sweet, sweet morning run. Oh right. Your mom wanted to say that she's proud of you. I also wanted to say that your mom is ridiculously hot. She'll call you later tonight. I thought I saw her in the stands. I'm glad she made it. Used to be my dad who showed up to my meets, but Mom's done a good job of taking over. She shivers slightly. and I realized that she's still all sweaty. The breeze has started to blow too. She's cold. I'm not cold at all. I've got my jacket with me, so without a word, I throw it around her shoulders, like a supreme gentleman. Doing the gentlemanly thing and taking care of the young damsel. What a man. Emi jumps slightly, and then grins at me. Let me know how many supreme gentlemen there are in the comments section. Let me know if you've ever done that for a lady friend. Or a lady friend that you were out with, it was cold, and like the supreme gentleman we've all been, you take off the jacket and put it on her shoulders. Hey, thanks. It's getting a little cold, I guess. Yeah, look like it. I can see you shivering. I can see you shake and shiver. But no mere mortal can resist the evil of the thriller. Just as I begin to wonder whether or not giving Emi my jacket could be taken the wrong way, a boy in a track uniform approaches. Hey Emi, you're gonna miss the medal ceremony. Oh yeah, thanks. She turns to Rin and myself. You don't need to stick around for this part. It takes forever. Besides, you should get cranky on your homework now if you don't want to be up late, Sal. Morning run tomorrow, don't forget. How could I? Good point. I mean, it's spending time with me, after all. Oh, the flirting, the teasing. So intoxicating. With this, she waves quickly and dashes off to receive her medals, or whatever they pass off as a medal these days. Or whatever they have going around with medals these days. You know, whatever they do. Rin and I head away from the track, Emi remaining deep in whatever thought. Oh, I said Emi. Rin remaining deep in whatever thought she has for most of the walk back to her dorm. As I see her off, she speaks up. You're probably not getting that coat back, I think. I'm sure I'll get it back eventually. Maybe. Who knows? Interesting. Take it as it comes, huh? Very Emi thing to do. Very Emi-ish. You two will get along just fine. With this odd statement, she turns and heads into the building. Honestly, was it that big a deal? Yeah. Yeah, Hisao, it was. Plus, girls talk Hisao. And Emi probably talked her in, saying how much she likes you. Probably told her that. So when Rin A saw you show up from track meet and B saw you give her your jacket, Rin's like, things are going along quite nicely. And then Emi and Rin are going to talk about this once everything's settled down. Emi was cold and, unless I'm mistaken, in pain. Giving her a solution to at least one of those problems seemed like an obvious reaction. Ah, Hisao, spoken like a true guy. Always trying to problem solve. But like most guys, especially young guys, who don't have a lot of experience with goils, you fail to see the bigger picture. Though I guess there is a chance I could lose my jacket and Emi never remembers to return it. You'll get it back. Don't worry. I guess Rin has a point. Plus, you could always get another jacket, worst case scenario. Still, I can't bring myself to muster much worry over the whole thing. After all, it's been getting warmer lately. I don't need a jacket. Odd. I think I used to be a little more responsible with my stuff. When I keep girls involved, screw it, it's just stuff. Emi-ish, huh? Maybe that's not really a bad thing. Maybe I'm evolving. boy, what a fun day. This would have been a good place to end it off, but actually I think I'm in the mood to keep going for a little bit more. You haven't forgotten to take your medicine, have you? I'm catching a little murmur. You should take it easy for a few days. The nurse's words hurt me far more than the exhaustion of the morning runs ever could. Take it easy for a few days. Perish the thought. Emi would kill me. I know I should have kept quiet. Why? This is your health for talking about himself. You don't want to be on the track with Emi, then keel over and die. I keep my eyes to the floor, feeling like a complete idiot. Of course I hadn't remembered to take my medication. I've been rushing out of my room to go to the track before Emi. I mean, you could have taken your medication after something. After the track meet a few days ago, I felt inspired. I felt like I could take on the world. So I've been running warm-up laps in the morning before Emi shows up. Wow. But then today, while she and I were running, I felt a little pain in my chest. It was only slight, and only for a second, so I mentioned it to the nurse. Honestly, it wasn't that bad. But Sal, you dummy, never say it's that bad. I mean, I kept running and finished just fine, so really it couldn't have been that bad. Why do I feel like I'm making excuses to the nurse? Because you are. Moreover, why do I feel the need to justify continuing to run despite the pain? Because you have a feeling he's going to say no. Stop that. Really, it comes down to my being unwilling to concern Emi, who seems concerned anyway. I'm not sure how she was able to tell there was anything wrong, but she claims I stumbled a little. You see, she knows that because she deals with that herself. So she knows what to look for. She's the one who insisted I tell the nurse, so now I feel bad for worrying her at all. Because, see, she would be the one to tell you to go see the nurse, but when you tell her to go see the nurse, she's going to be like, no! No! The nurse is shaking his head ruefully while Emi paces outside the room. Sal, I know it's difficult for you to get into a new routine, but if you don't want to find yourself in a lot of trouble, you're going to have to try harder. You can't afford to forget your bills, and you can't push yourself too hard. But if I don't push myself, how will I improve? I don't know where that came from. You've been spending a lot of time with Emi, that's where it came from. The nurse seems to have an idea. Now, where have I heard that before? Probably heard it from a certain twin-tailed girl, pacing outside this room. He laughs and pats me on the shoulder. Ha! She's rubbing off on you, I guess. His expression changes again, and he's back in a serious mood. Look, I'm not saying you shouldn't push yourself. But it doesn't mean you shouldn't be taking your medication. It doesn't mean you shouldn't stop if your chest starts to bother you. I'd prefer not to have any fatalities while I'm on staff here, except for Mortal Kombat. I love Mortal Kombat fatalities. A bit of a lofty goal, to be sure, but I'm always up for a challenge. I hate to admit it, but I think he's right. I've got to remember to take my medication. You're right. I'm sorry to worry you. Ah, he was worried. You're a smart kid, right? I know you can be responsible yourself. In a situation like yours, you've got to learn to be responsible fast. I know. Daijoubu, daijoubu. His expression suddenly becomes devious. I suppose you're starting to enjoy your runs with Emi then, eh? Gonna show your sword skills, if you know what I mean? Yeah, they've really been helping me. I mean, until today, I was feeling a lot more healthy. Plus, it's really impressive to see Emi run. Did you see her at the track meet? She was incredible! The nurse nods, grinning all the while. That she was, Hisao. I watched her first couple races before I had some business to take care of. But she told me all about it. Kind of you to loan her your jacket, by the way. She told him. See Hisao, girls talk. Girls talk Hisao. Huh? Oh, yeah. No, it wasn't that big of a deal. I'd honestly forgotten all about that. I still haven't gotten that back. And theirs gets a smile that makes you feel like you just made a joke. Not to you, but Emmy certainly appreciated it. And that's nice. It's nice that she's appreciative of that kind of stuff. And I know she appreciates you running with her in the mornings. This one catches me off guard a little. Sure, she mentioned it's easier to keep to a schedule with an extra person, but I didn't think I was doing her a favor at all. I thought she was doing me the favor of helping me follow the doctor's orders. She tries harder when you're around. If there's someone else running with her, she's going to push herself more. And she tries even harder when you're around because, well, it's you. Wait, what the heck does that mean? It means she likes you, and she wants to impress you. Take a hint, idiot. Oh, you'd love to know, wouldn't you? Well there, young sir. He laughs in the style of evil megalomaniacs. No, seriously, it's because you're her friend. Rin ran with her, I'm sure she'd do the same. Well, probably. Maybe. I guess. But that's not the point. The point is, you're helping her. Even if you don't know you are. And she's grateful for that. Even if she never says it. What do you mean, even if she never says it? Emmy doesn't talk a lot, but she and I have known each other long enough that I could read her most of the time. I'll admit it, I have no idea what he's talking about. Emmy always seems pretty talkative to me. Yes, about things that aren't related to her. It's easy for people to talk about things that aren't related to them. When it comes to stuff that's personal to them, especially stuff they still haven't gotten over, it's really hard for people to open up about that kind of stuff. I see. Nurse suddenly realizes that he's been rambling and stops talking, looking a little embarrassed. Anyway, you don't have to stop your morning exercise. Just walk the track instead of running for a few days. Let things calm down, and take your gosh darn medication, young man. It's like, take your damn medicine. Alright. I think we're gonna call it there. This is certainly a fun episode. A lot happened, and I'm happy. So, thank you for watching. Please be sure to stay tuned for future episodes. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, it's your boy Jqilin. Ciao for now.